Who's actually going to get the most out of a high-end gaming laptop, and who can safely walk away? If you're the type of gamer who wants to dominate AAA titles on the go, needs a screen that can keep up with fast-paced shooters, and is comfortable spending a premium for a future-proof rig, the ASUS ROG Strix G16 might be worth a serious look. If you're a casual player who mostly streams Netflix between the occasional indie game, or you're trying to squeeze a workstation into a backpack, you'll likely end up paying for power you never use. And for most everyday buyers who sit at the office or school most of the day, the question is whether the price tag translates into real-world benefit or just a badge of bragging rights. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's be clear up front, this machine is built around a Ryzen 9 8940HX and an RTX 5070 Ti. That combination means you're looking at a laptop that can push 1440p titles at solid frame rates, and even dabble in 4K if you're willing to dial down settings a bit. In the real world, that translates to a night and with friends session of Call of Duty where you can actually see the details on distant enemies, or a marathon Elden Ring run without the dreaded stutter that cheap laptops introduce. The 16-inch WUXGA display runs at 165 Hz with GSANC, which is more than just a marketing line. If you've ever played fast-paced shooters, you know how a 165 Hz panel can make aim adjustments feel smoother, and the GSANC sync eliminates tearing that would otherwise ruin immersion. Now, let's talk about who should buy this. The Strix G16 is a solid fit for three main groups. First, competitive gamers who need a portable powerhouse. The high refresh display and the RTX 5070 Ti's ray tracing core let you turn on those visual effects without sacrificing frame rate, which is a sweet spot for anyone who streams or tournaments. Second, content creators who also game. The 32GB of DDR5 RAM and 1TB SSD mean you can edit 4K video, render 3D models, and jump straight into a game without waiting for the system to catch up. Third, power users who want a laptop that will stay relevant for at least 4 years. The Ryzen 9 8940HX is already a top-tier chip, and the upgradability, you can add another SSD in the secondary slot, helps extend its lifespan. On the flip side, there are clear reasons to skip this laptop. If your primary use case is office work, web browsing, or light indie gaming, you'll be paying a premium for hardware you'll never tap. The 16-inch screen, while gorgeous, makes the chassis a bit heavier than a 15-inch alternative, so backpack carrying becomes a chore. Also, the battery life, while managed by ASUS's intelligence system, still tops out around 6 hours under mixed use. That's fine for on-the-go gaming sessions with a charger in sight, but not ideal if you expect a laptop to last a full day on a single charge for productivity tasks. Practical strengths become apparent the moment you start using the machine daily. The thermal design is one of those hidden trade-offs that many manufacturers gloss over, but it matters. ASUS has packed a vapor chamber cooling system with multiple heat pipes, and in our tests the laptop stayed under 85°C even after an hour of Cyberpunk 2077 on high settings. The fans ramp up quickly but remain audible enough that you can still have a conversation in the same room, a notable improvement over older ROG models that would shout at you before you even logged in. Battery management software intelligently throttles power when you're on battery, extending runtime just enough to finish a quick gaming session or get through a meeting. The upgradability aspect is another practical win. The 1TB NVMe SSD is fast, but the secondary M.2 slot lets you add another drive without opening the whole chassis for a major disassembly. For people who keep large game libraries or need fast scratch storage for video projects, that flexibility saves you from having to replace the whole laptop down the line. And the 4-zone RGB keyboard, while often seen as a gimmick, actually helps in low-light gaming environments. You can assign colors to WASD keys and keep your eyes on the action without straining. Weaknesses show up when you try to use the laptop for things it wasn't primarily designed for. The speakers, for example, are decent for casual media but lack the depth you'd expect for an immersive sound experience. You'll quickly reach for headphones, especially when the game's soundtrack is a key part of the vibe. The weight, at roughly 5.5 pounds, isn't a deal-breaker for someone who travels lightly, but it does make the laptop feel more like a desktop replacement than a truly portable device. Lastly, while Windows 11 Pro adds some enterprise features, gamers who prefer the simplicity of Windows 10 might find the extra settings a bit of a distraction. If you're still on the fence, think about the real-world scenarios you care about. Imagine you're heading to a coffee shop, plugging in, and you want to jump into Fortnite while you wait for a friend. The